Good morning, students. Today we will start chapter 8, Cell Structure and Function. As you all know, we are surrounded by either living or non-living things. Student, tell me how you able to differentiate between the living things from the non-living things. Yes, by observing some of their basic functions, like living things able to move, they need food, they take in air. All these are some basic functions. So before getting in the chapter and learning what is cell, about its structure and its functions, let's first have a look on some basic points which helps us to differentiate between living and non-living organisms. Living things move of their own, whereas it can't be shown by the non-living things. Living things grow with time. You will find there is a change in height, shape, size with time, whereas in case of non-living things it doesn't happen. Living things respires, they need food to grow, they reproduces, while non-living things doesn't show any of these functions. And to perform all these functions, the living organisms have different sets of organs. So these are some basic points on which basis it will help you to differentiate between living and non-living. Now let's see what is cell. Students, cell is the basic unit of structure and function in living organisms. Structure means obviously an organism's body is made up of cells, and these cells are only there in the living organism's body, which helps in different functions. Let's see how. So here I am going to tell you how a living organism body structure is formed. See, I told you that living organism's body basic structure is cells. So these cells, similar kinds of cells, combine together and they form the tissue. This is the first level, that same type of cells combine together and they form the tissue. Different tissues combine together and they forms the organ. We are having number of organs in our body. So how it forms? With the help of number of tissues. And then these different organs, they combine together and forms the organ system. Like digestive system is made up of so many organs. Then respiratory system is made up of so many organs. Okay. Next, we are having so many organ systems in the body. So when all these organ systems combine together, it helps to form a complete organism. So what is the levels of organization of an organism's body? Cells, it is the basic unit. Then it forms the tissues. Tissues will helps to form the organs. Number of organs will combine together and form the organ system. And many organ systems will combine together, and finally an organism's body is formed. So I hope after this you will able to say that cell is the basic structural unit of all living organisms, or we can also say that it is the building block of all living organisms. It will be more clear with the help of this example. What is your house made up of? Tell me, your house is made up of what? Yes, it's made up of bricks. And of course, so we can say that bricks is the structural unit of the house, or it is the building block of the house. Yes, in the same manner, we used to say cells are the building blocks, or you can say structural unit of all living organisms, whether big or small. So I hope now you are able to define cell. Cell is the structural and functional unit of living organism. Next, let's first learn who is responsible for discovery of cell. For discovery of cell, it is the scientist Robert Hooke, an English scientist, who discovered this. He discovered cells by examining slices of cork from the bark of a tree and observing it under the magnifying glass. Students, bark means पेड़ का जो छाल होता है, बाहर का जो डेड पार्ट होता है पेड़ का, उसे bark बोलते हैं. And from that bark, one part is termed as cork. So Robert Hooke, he observed that slice of cork under the magnifying glass, and he was able to see partition boxes which appears like a honeycomb, and he named these boxes as cell. So, who coined the term cell? Robert Hooke in the year 1665. So, here we will start our main topic of the chapter about which we are going to learn is the cell. Cells in the living organisms are complex living structure. It is not a simple, it's a complex living structure. It is not just like a box. It has so many other components inside it that we will learn in the chapter. Students, egg of hen. I hope all of you have seen egg. Egg of hen represents a single cell. It is the only example of a cell which we able to see with unaided eye. Means without any help you able to see this single cell, egg. But it is the only example. More rest other cells we can't able to see with our naked eye. So we able to see that with the help of microscope. Okay. So remember, hen's egg or any kind of egg is an example of single cell. Now just now I told you that we can't able to see the cells with our naked eye. So how we able to see, or how the scientists observe and study all these living cells? Yes, with the help of microscope. They make use of microscopes to study the cells. Microscopes magnify the tiny images. I told you that they are very small in size, very minute particles. We can't able to see it directly. So they use microscopes which helps to magnify the size and helps to see it clearly. And they also make use of certain stains. Stains means dyes that helps them to study the different parts of the cell in detail. So how the scientists observe and study the cells? With the help of microscopes which helps in magnifying the images, and also by making use of stains which helps to color the different parts. Okay, and they able to get the detailed structural arrangement of the cell. Now students, as buildings made up of same bricks is the structural unit of buildings, but have different shapes, designs and sizes. Okay, every building is made up of bricks only, but looks different from each other. In the same manner, organisms also differ from one another, but all are made up of cells. Let's see how organisms vary on the basis of cell number. Cell number, cell shape and size. Our living organisms, they show variety in terms of cell number, cell shape and size. First we will deal with the cell number. So on the basis of cell number, we categorize living organisms into two groups: unicellular organism and multicellular organism. Students, the basic concept till now what we have learnt is that all living organism begins its life as a single cell, that is the fertilized egg, which then multiplies and increases according to different organisms. So if we say the organism is unicellular, means it is made up of only one cell. Uni means one, cellular means cell. So organism made up of one cell known as unicellular. For example, amoeba, paramecium, euglena, all these are different examples of unicellular organism. And if we say organism is multicellular, means it is made up of many cells. For example, elephants, plants, etc. Multi means many, cellular means cells. So if the organism is made up of many cells, more than one cells, then we call that organism in the group of multicellular organism. So all the plants and animals belongs to multicellular organism. As unicellular organism made up of only one cell, so they carry out all their surviving processes, functions in that single cell itself. Whereas in multicellular organism, different functions, means specific functions will be performed by different group of cells, as they are having many cells. So the functions are divided between them. Whereas in unicellular organism, single cell is there, so it used to do all functions required for surviving. So I stop over here. I hope you will able to differentiate between unicellular and multicellular organism, and I will continue further in the next video. Thank you.